All right, well, welcome everybody. This is going to be, an involved, very in-depth webinar. So we're going to, go through a lot of stuff. So if you have any questions, I'll stay at the end because we don't want to make it too lengthy. We want to respect everybody's Saturday mornings. I know we're expecting a lot more people to jump on. So as people jump on, hopefully everybody will be muted here. And in the comments, in the chat, I have the Google Drive link for the assessment. So if you didn't get the assessment in the email that I sent out, please make sure that you have, that you complete that. All right. So I am Dr. Brigitte Rossi. I am a chiropractor in the greater Atlanta area. And I'm also an essential oil specialist, a certified body code practitioner, and wellness coach. So thank you all for being here today. I have been using doTERRA essential oils for the last 8 years, and they have completely transformed how I do my health protocols for myself, my family, and my patients, because of how we can do our health stacking and how when we involve the doTERRA essential oils and these products that we're going to be talking about, how much more you can get in your health and how much more you can really results that you can improve. So I'm just going to go ahead and mute a couple people here. All right, wonderful. All right, so everybody can see the screen. We're going to get started. I'm going to be going through, like I said, an in-depth talk about the wellness pyramid and all of the pillars of health that you need that build upon each other. So think about it a little bit like Jenga blocks, right? If you remove something from the foundation, you're gonna have a shaky foundation and things can topple over. So nutrition, digestion, movement, metabolism, those foundations affect every other block stacked on top of it. Oh, hi, sweetie. We can hear you. If you can mute yourself, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Yes, I'm sorry. That's my grandson. I didn't realize it was.
Hello, sweetie.
It was on. I'll mute it.
Thank you. All right. So we want to be very proactive in our health and address our root concerns in natural ways. That's always the go-to in the beginning, right? Is look at what can you do naturally. We don't want temporary solutions or superficial solutions. That is not enough. So when we look at our lifestyle and the choices that we make each and every day, that's going to be the foundation that our wellness and our health is built upon. So that's why we want to look at that assessment, reflect on what areas would be easy and that you can integrate what we're going to be talking about today. And because it's a very easy to follow plan that we've created for you so that you can add these things in your journey throughout. We also have the wonderful Dr. Brannick Riggs, we have different videos that I'll be sharing throughout the session. And he is the president of education and chairman of the Scientific Medical Education Board. He does the full spectrum of family medicine, and he's also a member of the American Academy of Family Physicians. So we're going to have some videos on him as well, and he's actually going to help get us kicked off here. So this first one is a little bit longer, and then the other ones are going to be a little shorter, but enjoy this introduction, okay?
I'm excited to be talking to you about the wellness pyramid today. And that's the first concept that is foundational to any wellness approach, is this wellness pyramid. This is similar to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It has a foundation of nutrition and digestion. So if this is not going well, most of what we do to take care of specific complaints is not going to work well. And if it does, it won't work well for long. As an example, if someone's having challenges with sleep, but they're eating at 11:30 p.m., which we know can give them issues with sleep, how we approach will not work well until we discuss nutrition and digestion. As it turns out, 9 out of the 10 most impactful risk factors for health are rooted in poor nutrition. Unhealthy lifestyle leads to a variety of health concerns, and the lifestyle choices you make each day are the foundation for your wellness. Now, the reverse of this is also true. If we pay very little attention to our lifestyle, then we get to focus more on our medical care. I know that you've all seen this in the lives of individuals you've worked with over the years. Many of us are having our own awakening. So let's focus on the wellness pyramid rather than the unwellness pyramid, because that's our goal, to remain well. Today's healthy foods are still very different from the historic diets our genes are programmed for. For thousands of years, agricultural breeding has always had the goal of improving yield and taste. And since many micronutrients don't taste good, they've been inadvertently bred out of our food. The wild apple has about 100 times more phytonutrients and much more vitamin C than apples you can buy in the grocery store today. And this is just one example of what's happened to our entire food supply. This New York Times article, Breeding the Nutrition Out of Our Food, from May 2013, said the loss of these beneficial nutrients did not begin 50 or 100 years ago, as many assume. Unwittingly, we have been stripping phytonutrients from our diet since we stopped foraging for wild plants some 10,000 years ago and became farmers. One would have to eat 8 oranges today to derive the same amount of vitamin A as our grandparents would have gotten from just 1 orange. The U.S. Department of Agriculture report on over 40 common fruits and vegetables has revealed that around 50% of the substances containing vitamins and minerals essential for optimal human health has suffered a considerable decline in nutrient content between the years of 1950 and 1999. Those declines range from 6 to 38%. So in discussing movement and metabolism, I'd like to mention a study on aging by Dr. Mark Tarnopolsky, who published an experiment in 2001 in which they studied mice that had a terrible genetic disease that caused them to age prematurely. Over the course of 5 months, half the mice were sedentary, and half the mice were coaxed to run 3 times a week on a miniature treadmill. Now, I can't imagine a little tiny mouse treadmill, but they found them. At the end of the study, the sedentary mice were barely alive. The fur that they had yet to fall out had grown coarse and gray. Their muscles shivered, hearts were weak, and the skin had become very thin. Even their hearing was affected. The mice that ran several times a week on those little tiny treadmills, although genetically compromised, were nearly indistinguishable from healthy mice. Their coats were sleek and black. They ran around their cages normally, and they could even reproduce. Exercise almost completely prevented the premature aging in these animals. Hippocrates, around 400 BC, said eating alone will not keep a man well. He must also take exercise. In the early 1900s, with the rise of modern surgery and pharmaceuticals, medicine shifted from a prevention focus to a treatment focus. Interestingly, physicians de-emphasized exercise just as the modern Olympics swelled in popularity and colleges began building stadiums to accommodate America's growing love of spectator sports. In 1905, a physician published an article in the Journal of the American Medical Association stating, quote, "The men on the teams are the very ones whom nature has endowed superabundantly with physical capacity, but on them, the physical director or coach bends most of his energies, while the average student is left to get his physical development by yelling from the bleachers," unquote. Physical activity was no longer the medicine of the masses, but the privilege of elite athletes. In Rest and Manage Stress, it's important to mention this study, which was out of Finland, which indicates that people who are sleeping less than 8 hours daily are 21 to 26% more likely to die from any cause than those who slept more than 8 hours. As a matter of fact, sleep deprivation in mice will kill them faster than starvation can. Sleeplessness can significantly impact your cardiovascular health. One study in Japan showed that those who slept more than 6 hours a night are 4 to 5 times more likely to enjoy significantly better cardiovascular health than those who got less than 6 hours of sleep. Dr. Maiken Nedergaard, a neuroscientist from the University of Rochester, studied the brain during sleep and found that the brain runs a system of checks on itself to ensure that the balance of hormones, enzymes, and proteins aren't too far off kilter, during which time brain cells contract, opening up the spaces between them so that fluid can wash out the toxic detritus that can cause all kinds of problems if it builds up. Quote, "It's kind of like a dishwasher that keeps flushing through to wash the dirt away," unquote. Without that nightly wash cycle, dangerous toxins can damage healthy cells and interfere with their ability to communicate with one another. In the short term, that can impede memory formation and the ability to coherently compose our thoughts and regulate our emotions. So let's talk about reduced toxic exposure and support detoxification. It makes sense that exposure to environmental chemicals has been linked to significant health challenges. Toxic load refers to the harmful chemicals that accumulate in the body through exposure. Now, this exposure can come through air, water, food, chemicals in personal products, and household cleaners. They can also come from medications, plastics, herbicides, and pesticides. And interestingly, our own body produces toxins through a variety of metabolic processes every day. Remember the neurons in the brain contracting during sleep, allowing toxins to be washed out and cleaning up our brains? Those are the toxins that are washed out. Over the last few decades, we've become increasingly aware of how endocrine-disrupting chemicals are affecting us. Now, endocrine-disrupting chemicals, or EDCs, are substances in the environment, food sources, personal care products, and manufactured products that interfere with the normal function of your body's endocrine system. They are chemicals or mixtures of chemicals that interfere with the way the body's hormones work. They act like hormone mimics and trick our body into thinking that they are hormones. They may block natural hormones from doing their job. They could increase or decrease the levels of hormones in our blood by affecting how they're made, broken down, or stored in our body, and can change how sensitive our bodies are to different hormones, which is why they've been linked to numerous adverse human health outcomes that are increasing in rate and effect. We need to start identifying where these toxins are coming from and what we might do to ditch those items and switch to a more natural or pure product that can do the same thing. So let's talk a little bit about informed self-care. Informed self-care is the upper part of our wellness pyramid, which actually becomes part of our health care, where we can take care of some of our needs ourselves. If we were to break down the key areas or pillars of informed self-care, it would include immunity, healthy inflammatory response, metabolic concerns, and mental health. At the end of this presentation, I'm going to take a few minutes and describe some concepts in proactive medical care that I hope that you'll enjoy and really take to heart from the standpoint of a physician. We'll talk about that at the end. Thank you.
All right, so wonderful. So Dr. Riggs really just gave us a quick overview of the wellness period and each of those pillars that we're going to be diving into today. So the first one, right, is going to be nutrition. Nutrition and digestion. That's the foundation of overall health and wellness. So as he mentioned, 9 out of 10 most impactful risk factors are tied to poor nutrition. This means that when you have an unhealthy lifestyle, this leads to illness, disabilities, and even in worst case scenarios, death, because metabolic diseases are things like joint and skeletal problems, cardiovascular disease, hypertension, weight issues, violence even, and so on. This is all caused by an unhealthy lifestyle. And eating and physical activity are the leading causes of death in the US. It contributes to over 678,000, almost 700,000 deaths each year in the US due to poor nutrition, obesity-related diseases, such as heart disease, cancers, type 2 diabetes, right? So the food that you consume isn't meeting our health needs. So let's look at nutrient and vitamin deficiencies, and Dr. Riggs is going to help us on that.
Among many things, what we eat has a major impact on our health status, weight, and actually how we feel overall. As mentioned, the typical diet in our modern world is full of highly processed food and lacking in those vital nutrients. Our specific nutrient requirements will depend on several factors like our age, gender, how much we exercise, and other personal health circumstances like pregnancy or serious health concerns. While the amounts and types of nutrients we need can vary from person to person, most of us are likely not reaching our daily requirements for a number of vitamins and minerals. Nutrient requirements are determined by the amount of a vitamin or mineral needed to minimize a nutrient deficiency based on our age, gender, and several other factors. Each gender and age group has a specific set of general nutritional requirements that will help keep them healthy. The estimated average requirement, or EAR, will allow an individual to compare their nutritional intake to requirements based on their age and gender. This chart shows the amount of American adults who are not reaching their daily nutritional requirements for specific vitamins and minerals. At 94 and 95%, a majority of American adults are not reaching their daily requirements for vitamins D and E, two of the fat-soluble vitamins. Nearly half of Americans or more do not fulfill nutrient requirements for magnesium, vitamin A, calcium, and vitamin C. The RDA is neither a recommendation nor an allowance, but rather an adequate intake amount. The RDA for protein is based on analysis of nitrogen balance studies. Therefore, the RDA for protein is the amount of protein needed to avoid a negative nitrogen balance. This criterion creates two primary problems. Number one, a misunderstanding of what the RDA actually means, and number two, the RDA for protein is not based on a health outcome. The current recommended dietary allowance, or RDA for protein intake, is 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight per day, or about 68 grams for a 150-pound adult. This amount of protein is probably not enough to maintain muscle mass, and we really need to be eating 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, which is likely optimal for muscle protein synthesis, especially as one ages.
This is so important to know. Many of our processes and systems in our body rely on proper nutrition, but when we're not getting those micro and macronutrients that are required, that's when we see existing conditions getting worse. Right? We're getting worsening of our bone and cardiovascular health. Our metabolic health keeps deteriorating and our hormones become imbalanced over time. We don't see that till later in life sometimes. So Dr. Riggs is going to kind of do a deep dive here on macronutrients. Okay.
Macronutrients are a group of nutrients that provide your body with energy and the components it needs to maintain its structure and functions. Macronutrients are the nutrients we need in larger quantities that provide us with energy. In other words, fat, protein, and carbohydrate. For example, proteins provide essential amino acids, while fats contain essential fatty acids. Your body utilizes these components for specific functions. Macronutrients also contain energy in the form of calories. Carbs are the main energy source, but your body can use other macronutrients for energy if needed. Each macronutrient has specific functions in your body. During digestion, they're broken down into smaller parts. These parts are then used for bodily functions like energy production, muscle building, and giving structure to cells.
All right. So those are the macronutrients. Now let's talk about micronutrients. All right. Your body has the amazing capacity to heal when we give it what it needs. So doTERRA's Lifelong Vitality Pack was created exactly with this in mind. So each complex blend has a specific job to do to assist us with our optimal health. So whether you're starting to feel the effects of aging, maybe you just want to promote a healthy lifestyle, the Lifelong Vitality Program is designed with your body's health in mind, your longevity, your energy. So we're going to be discussing each one of these products today in order to help you look and feel your best. All right, so there's 3 products in this line that are specially formulated with antioxidants to support the immune system, and to give us the things that are missing from our diet. So we have the alpha CRS plus, the XE omega, and the microplex VMZ. They all have food grade ingredients, whole food ingredients, right? And they use the safe CPTG essential oils along in there to provide a way to promote our health, vitality, and wellness. All right, so you can see it has absolutely everything we need here. All right, so the XE omega, I want to start here. This is absolutely essential. These your omega fatty acids. So we have a combination of powerful ingredients along with the essential oils in here to make it a very useful and bioavailable product for your body, and gives you the balance of essential fatty acids you need along with some of the other benefits. So by using this product, you're going to help support your heart health, right? Every cell has a layer of fat around it. Excuse me, if you could mute, sorry, but we will be open for questions at the end where you'll be able to unmute yourself. Okay. So having every cell with a fatty layer is important, that we have these omega fatty acids to help support our heart and circulatory health, help our joints, our immune system, our brains and eyes and nervous system, right? We live through our nervous system. So this is very, very important. It has those certified pure tested grade essential oils to provide extra antioxidant and cellular response in here. All right. Let me see here who we need to mute. Right here. Okay. All right. We should be good here. All right. So let's just see a little bit here. Sorry. All right. So Dr. Riggs is going to talk to us a little bit about omega fatty acids now.
Telomeres protect the ends of all linear chromosomes against DNA loss and faulty recombination. They shorten during replication and also in response to external stress and damage. Telomerase counteracts telomere shortening, but has non-telomeric functions as well. Omegas are one of the primary ways to slow the decimation of telomeres and maintain the intended lifespan of those telomeres. The adoption of comprehensive lifestyle changes, which include daily supplementation with omega-3 fatty acids, was associated with a significant increase in telomerase activity in normal adult human leukocytes. Individuals who supplement with a quality vitamin and mineral can extend telomeres by as much as 8%. So what do fatty acids do for the cell? Fatty acid constitutes the foundation of cell membranes, provides metabolic energy, affects functions of membrane-bound enzymes and receptors, conducts signaling cascade, and helps in learning-related memory cognition in mammals, including humans.
All right, so absolutely essential to our health here and our longevity. And if you are looking for a vegan option, we do have a vegan option as well. It's the VE omega. All right. So the next product in this line is the Microplex VMZ. This is your 1-a-day supplement. This is your multivitamin. Okay, so the V for vitamins, your M for minerals, and your Z for zinc. It has the 22 essential vitamins that you need to make sure that you have normal growth of your cells, function, and the maintenance. It fights the free radicals with those antioxidants of vitamins A, C, and E, supports your metabolism, has those calcium, magnesium, zinc, vitamin D, all of those things for bone health, your immune function, your digestive function. And the amazing thing about this product is that how it was formulated with the patented glycoprotein matrix. And what that does is it helps enhance the bioavailability. Oh no, I don't know what happened there. I'm so sorry. All right. I apologize for that. I have no clue what just happened, but let's try this. Let's continue this, okay? All right. Okay, so, all right. We were talking about the Microplex VMZ, right? Okay, and these benefits. So, and how it was formulated. So that's wonderful. And if you need a vegan option for the Microplex VMZ, we've got it for you as well. All right, so just look for that vegan option. All right, the next product in this line is the Alpha CRS Plus. This is all of those extra antioxidants that we need. When I see somebody's shelf and we have all those extra bottles, that is what is in the Alpha CRS Plus. It has proprietary blend of natural extracts and other ingredients to help combat cellular aging and help with your vitality. So obviously there's a lot about this, and Dr. Riggs talked about the macronutrients. So if we go to the macronutrients, we want to combine those micronutrients that we just talked about in the lifelong vitality with the macronutrients to make sure that we're getting enough protein in our diet so that we can maintain the muscle mass. Because as he mentioned, it doesn't even come close to what we need to give our body the stamina and help build our cells and our muscles. So according to the American Journal of Lifestyle Medicine, most people are only getting about half the amount of fiber as well. So not only are we not getting enough protein, but we're not getting enough fiber, right, in our diets. The FDA recommends 25 to 38 grams of dietary fiber every day, depending again on your age and weight, gender, and where you're at. So that is also very essential. So that's where you come in with the extra fiber supplement to make sure that you are getting in, especially as you're tweaking your nutrition and making sure maybe you're getting a lot more in. And we all know that green fruits and vegetables, right? How many of you are getting 1 to 2 servings of fruits and vegetables with every meal? How many of you had that for breakfast today, had at least 2 cups of vegetables with your meal, right? We're not getting enough. So that's where these greens come in. It's equivalent to 1 to 2 servings of your fruits and vegetables and has some extra fiber in there, okay? Very, very essential to make sure you're getting everything you need. So next, we want to dive into digestive health. So yeah, you're taking this all in, but what's happening in your digestive health? Since 70% of our body's immune system dwells in our digestive tract, making sure our digestive system is healthy is crucial to our overall well-being. The digestive system plays a major role in making sure that you bring those nutrients into your body. And without this, digestive health, you can experience a host of uncomfortable symptoms like abdominal pain, right? Bloating, indigestion, and a lot of other things. But additionally to that, you're going to be lacking proper nutrition from the food that you're eating because your system's not taking it in. And that can then negatively impact your overall well-being. So that's why we want to make sure that digestive health is very healthy. So how do we support our digestive health? Well, making sure you're drinking enough water, right? You got to make sure that good hydration is there. So you want to be taking in, the old school way that they used to say it is 8 glasses of 8 ounces a day. Are you drinking at least minimum of 64 ounces in a day, or half your body weight in ounces of water, right? That's a good kind of guideline for you to make sure that you don't have dehydration, because that can lead to constipation and other unwanted symptoms. And then, of course, eating our fruits and vegetables. This is a great way to get the nutrients and our natural enzymes that help overall digestive function. So a balanced diet full of healthy vegetables and fruit can help improve your digestive system. The next thing to support that is avoiding chemicals, avoiding chemical-laden foods, processed foods. Start eating whole foods instead. And because processed foods have tons of chemical additives, artificial sweeteners, and preservatives, and that interferes with your digestive process. And then, of course, movement. Actually, regular exercise helps your body digest those foods that take longer for your stomach and your small intestine to digest. So a regular workout regimen is actually also beneficial if you suffer from digestive tract issues, right? Absolutely simple for you to support yourself. All right, so outside of drinking water, eating fresh fruits and vegetables, avoiding chemicals, right, and exercising, let's see some of those products that we can support our digestive system with. Oh no, okay, hang on. When we lost connection, let me redo the sound. I'm sorry about that. All right, I think
One of the most important components of our diets. Fresh, raw foods naturally contain sufficient enzymes for proper digestion in the body. However, when food is cooked and processed, these naturally occurring food enzymes can be destroyed. DigestZen Terrazyme is a proprietary blend of 10 active whole food enzymes that are often deficient in cooked, processed, and preservative-laden foods. Terrazyme includes a variety of whole food enzymes that help with digestion of proteins, fats, complex carbohydrates, sugars, fiber, and other food nutrients. It also supports optimal health by promoting more efficient digestion of food nutrients and by reducing the demand for internal production of digestive nutrients, thus freeing resources for optimal levels of metabolic enzyme production and activity. DigestZen Terrazyme can also be used as targeted support for specific food intolerances of proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, such as lactose. Each serving of PB Assist Plus delivers 6 billion CFUs, or colony-forming units, of active probiotic cultures and soluble prebiotic fiber to support proper digestive function, particularly of the colon and intestinal tract. Supplementing your diet with probiotics promotes a healthy intestinal tract, increased digestive comfort, optimal metabolism, and the absorption of nutrients in the GI tract. Recent studies suggest that a healthy balance of probiotic bacteria in the gut also helps the body maintain healthy immune system function. PB Assist Plus delivers 6 key strains of beneficial bacteria needed for proper absorption and digestion of foods. This powerful formula includes prebiotic fiber, known as prebiotic fructooligosaccharides, plus 6 billion CFUs of active probiotic microorganisms, Lactobacillus acidophilus, Bifidobacterium bifidum, Bifidobacterium longum, Bifidobacterium lactis, Lactobacillus salivarius, and Lactobacillus casei. DigestZen can be taken internally to ease symptoms of occasional digestive disturbance, such as bloating, gas, and indigestion. As a convenient alternative, you can take DigestZen soft gels once a day or as needed. DigestZen can also be used topically and comes in a touch roller for convenient application on kids. Rub 1 to 4 drops on the stomach before flying or taking a road trip for a calming aroma. You can dilute 1 drop in 4 fluid ounces or more of water or tea to support digestion or minimize motion sickness. DigestZen is designed to be used with or without the complementary line of DigestZen nutritional products.
All right, I love how he explains that. All right, so that is the foundation, right? Our nutrition. So next up, we're going to dive into metabolic health. How did you score in this section of the assessment here? Good metabolic health means that your body can digest and absorb the nutrients from your food without unhealthy spikes in your blood sugar blood fat, inflammation, or insulin. So it's important to avoid these unhealthy spikes because those contribute to unfavorable long-term issues and risks of metabolic imbalances. So poor diet, high levels of stress, sedentary lifestyle, all negatively impact our metabolic health. So that puts us in more of risk for blood pressure issues, cholesterol, blood sugar imbalances, and being overweight. All right, but there's good news, of course. You can actually take back control of your metabolic health. And in that, you can slow your biological aging. Now, don't take my word for it. There's actually some research from Harvard and other top tier organizations that show that metabolic health and biological age are inseparable. So that means that you're stronger and healthier. The stronger and healthier your metabolic function is, the younger you feel from the inside out. So as you age, so does your metabolic function, right? And that is because of different influences from your energy, your weight, your body composition, your sleep, your cognitive performance, right? All of these things can decline if your metabolic health is declining. So let's take back our health and our metabolic health now, right? So there's a big difference between lifespan and health span. So medical advances are really helping us live longer. So that's our lifespan, right? But what is your health span? Those last years of your life, just because medically we're extending our lives, are they of good quality, right? How are you spending those years? Most people are not spending them with health. So we really want to take back the effect of aging and all of those stressors and expand our health span to meet our health span. All right. So Dr. Riggs is going to go through this with us.
How do we close that gap? Even for the average healthy person, aging markers begin to show up in your 20s. By the time you reach 50 years old, your body is producing about half the NAD plus it was when you were 20. What's NAD plus? NAD is responsible for two types of reactions in the body: metabolic function, which converts food and nutrients into cellular energy, and cellular integrity, which protects your cellular energy factories. Because NAD plus levels steadily fall as you age, there are important implications to metabolic function and the negative effects on DNA that snowball as NAD levels decline. What does that mean? As you age, so does your metabolic function, which plays a role in cellular wellness. And because your metabolism influences your weight, body composition, energy, and even cognitive performance, to close the gap between lifespan and health span, you must take control of your metabolic health.
All right. So let's talk about the 4 obstacles to our metabolic health that we have to overcome. So that's maturing of our fat cells, right? Them getting larger and older, right? Cellular integrity, the spikes in our blood sugar that already, even if in the normal range of blood sugar, those spikes, as well as inferior supplements that people are taking that are out on the market today. So let's talk about these solutions. All right. doTERRA actually created a new product system for metabolic health support. And this is going to help fill in those missing pieces in your wellness lifestyle plan. It's formulated with the intent to help support that NAD plus and the NADH levels in your body. And that will help smooth out those spikes and dips in your normal range blood glucose levels and help promote healthy insulin activity and response. Helps curb the cravings also and inhibit fat cells from maturing. Okay, those are the one things we don't like to mature. We like when our kids mature, right? But not our fat cells. Okay, so this is going to help promote that on a cellular level. All right, it's commonly understood that when we're eating healthy, right, and we're making good drink choices and we're moving, usually we can really control the cells of the size of our fat cells. The meta power essential oil blend is uniquely formulated to help support those lifestyle choices that we make. It helps curb the hunger cravings between the meals. And some of the recent research on this essential oil blend has shown that it actually helps limit the development of new fat cells and the growth of existing ones. So this is really exciting. And remember, your cells, including your fat cells, don't live forever. So if you're using MetaPower essential oil on a regular basis, when you combine that with the natural cell death turnover that we have, we can metaphorically kind of like freeze our new fat cells into their smaller size. That's kind of exciting, right? Very exciting information on that one. So not only can it support your goals now, but the MetaPower metabolic blend here can actually support your goals long-term as well. So that's why it's a very key part of this system. And it's going to be shown in all of the different products. It has a balanced ratio of the doTERRA essential oils of grapefruit, lemon, peppermint, ginger, and cinnamon. And when you put them together in like just that right ratio, there's something powerful that happens. That's when you get the inhibition of the fat cell maturation, right? And we curb those cravings and just overall supporting our metabolic health. So you can actually get this in 4 different ways and enjoy them 4 different ways. So you have the beadlets, which are teeny tiny, pop in your mouth, great little breath freshener. You have the soft gels. Those, if you those you could swallow just like you would any other supplement. Also good for on the move. You have the oil and the oil itself here as well. All right, so it's also in every part of the system. I think I already mentioned that. So now I want to kind of reiterate on blood sugar spikes. So it said that every time your blood sugar spikes, you age. So I want to give you this analogy. Who's driven with a teenage driver? I have a teenage driver who's actually with his driver's ed instructor right now. So if you ever got behind the wheel with somebody who's learning to drive, maybe you remember going, slinging forward and back in your seat when they first start, right? So if you were to put your foot on the accelerator and floor it, right? And then slam on your brakes, right? You're going to go flying. And that will rapidly increase the wear and tear on your car. It's not good for the engine. It's not good for the brakes. It's not good for the tires or even your seatbelt, right? So your blood sugar spikes do the same thing. Those spikes and dips are going to be hard on your body. And that contributes to poor functioning of our cells. So most of us naturally have that post-meal blood sugar or blood glucose spike. And then some of us even experience the dips if we go too long between meals, right? Anybody hangry, right? That's that dip that happens. So we want to smooth out those spikes and those dips and allow that curve of insulin to be better. And that will help optimize our energy and make it more sustainable throughout the day. So this is where we bring in MetaPower Assist. MetaPower Assist is going to help smooth out those curves. So this is the key to help close that gap between your health span and your lifespan and maximize those years that we have. So MetaPower Assist has mulberry leaf extract. So that's been shown to reduce post-meal blood sugar glucose spikes by 13% if you take it with your meal. Okay, mulberry leaf extract helps metabolize your carbohydrates that you ate more slowly. So it gives you that slow up and down instead of that high, fast up and down. Okay, so it's designed to help give you a good, healthy approach to your whole food eating. So of course, you still want to have whole food diet and exercise to help promote that blood sugar regulation. All right, so let's not forget, less than 7% of the US adult population actually has optimal metabolic health. So all of us can really get the support or assistance of this MetaPower Assist. Okay, So the next part is really important. And there's two key things I want you to understand about the relationship between aging and cellular integrity. So first, collagen is the most abundant protein in the human body. Did you know there's actually 28 types of collagen in your body? Collagen is very, very important to make because it's the connective tissues that make up your tendons, make up your ligaments, your skin, your muscles, and other body parts. So while collagen is something that humans naturally produce, our production of it drops with our age, starting around age 25, actually. So this is what gives your skin that firmness, that elasticity, supports lean muscle mass, and your connective tissue. So that structure that we want, right? We want to keep our skin tight as we age. We want to keep our joints flexible. We really need this collagen. So the second thing is, like I mentioned earlier, NAD plus and NADH. Those are crucial things for mitochondrial production of your energy. So the mitochondria is a part of the cell that creates your energy. So if that is dropping the production around age 25, that's what we need to help convert our food into energy and protect our cellular energy factories. Okay, so we need to make sure that we're generating that and able to the cells to carry out their functions. So without that NAD plus, we'd be on the fast track to death. So with new research, new studies, new discoveries, we're understanding how we can help supplement this in our bodies by getting what's called the precursor. So what our body needs to then produce it, and that is NMN. So in the collagen, you're going to see NMN, and that is because it's going to help us make and increase our production of NAD plus, leading to better functioning of our cells and that energy that our cells need to make. All right, so I know this is a lot of information, so just hang in with me, and if you have questions, we'll definitely answer this at the end. All right, so let me give you some of the highlights here for why the collagen in MetaPower Advantage is superior to anything else you may have ever tried. So for one, it's 12 times more absorbable because it's marine collagen than any other types of collagen that you might have tried. Second, it has the collagen replacing products only usually feature 1 or 2 collagen tripeptides, whereas MetaPower Advantage contains 9 different collagen types so that your body can really take it all in. All right. So it also has 12 other synergistic ingredients to give your cells what they need to support that cellular integrity. So the MetaPower Advantage is brought to you in just a little powder format, right? So I have one here, and it's so simple to use. You're just going to open it. I have a glass of water here. You pour it in, right? For ease, you just simply mix it. I love to use my little electric mixer. There you go. And that's it. And then you can enjoy it and drink. Okay. So the third thing about MetaPower system is how it combines that marine collagen and the yeast longevity complex, which is that contains that NMN and NAD. So NAD plus, so with the 10 other synergistic ingredients, so that helps target that integrity and helps your lifespan. This product is such a powerhouse, and it's essential for your tissues needs, and it'll help support that NAD plus that I mentioned. Okay, that'll slow down your aging and help bring in more firmer, more elastic skin that help with your cognitive function, help with your lean muscle, all of that. It is a game changer. So definitely enjoy it. There's nothing out there that even compares. All right, so we outlined the 5 pillars. Let me take a quick sip. All right, wonderful. So we definitely outlined the 5 pillars of metabolic health, right? Healthy eating, daily movement, healthy connections, stress management, smart supplementation. So smart supplementation is how we get a greater return for the efforts that you're doing in the other 4 pillars. So when we combine these products with our healthy lifestyle choices, now we're getting somewhere, right? So Meta Power is not a single product, it's a whole system. And we're going to have a special deal for you today as well in this, for you to get this if you are new to doTERRA. Because we don't want to just live a long life, right? We want to live a long, healthy life. So each product in this system is designed to help us achieve that. All right, so we've been talking for a little while here, exercise. So let's get up, right? Move your bodies. You could do a couple little jumping jacks, stretch, everybody up, move your bodies, right? Exercise is such a miracle drug. Research shows that if we exercise often, our medical costs are going to be a lot lower. Okay, we're going to sleep better at night. It's going to help improve our mood. So not only that, but our work days are more productive, and we lower our risk of developing chronic diseases. Only about half of Americans actually meet aerobic physical activity, but do you know that less than 20% meet strength training? How many of you are doing strength training? Probably only 20%, right? And half of you are meeting aerobic activity. Maybe our odds are a little bit better because you are here being proactive with your health. But in the US, we spend way too much time being inactive in front of our computers, watching TV, right? Or maybe we go out and eat and we sit, right? So this doesn't start in adulthood. This starts as we're training our children. So the father of modern medicine says, eating alone will not keep a man well. He must also take in exercise, right? So why does this matter? Let's listen to Dr. Riggs on this.
It's movement that gives us healthy joints, strong bones, physical strength, good circulation, including cardiovascular circulation, good coordination, and reflex reactivity, improve learning skills and concentration, and mental well-being. Without it, we would simply deteriorate. Even the most elite athletes struggle to motivate themselves from time to time. The most important thing is to not beat yourself up over it. Take a little time and then revisit your reasons for exercising and get back on track. How many of you have heard the adage, muscle weighs more than fat? Most everyone in here, and that's true. Muscle does weigh more than fat because it's more dense, meaning that there is more substance in the same amount of space compared to fat.
A good reminder, right? When we exercise, it's not about the scale, it's about how much muscle you have compared to fat, right? So what happens when we don't move? You know that period when you're sitting for a long time and then I'm at the computer doing all my work, I finally get up and I walk to the kitchen or answer the door or change laundry, whatever it is, right? It's like, ooh, creaky, everything's stiff, right? And so a sedentary lifestyle has powerful negative effects on us. So this is a great analogy. Sitting is the new smoking. Let's listen to Dr. Riggs.
Sitting is the new smoking. Over 25% of American adults sit for more than 8 hours every day. Almost half of those people get little to no exercise. The average American is physically active less than 20 minutes per day, and more time spent sitting is strongly associated with less physical activity overall. Even when controlling for time, overall level of directed exercise, time spent sitting is itself a risk factor for cardiometabolic morbidity and all-cause mortality.
All right, so here is our best friend when it comes to movement and those discomforts, right? Because we don't want these discomforts to hold us back from moving. So the deep blue rub, deep blue stick, they are infused with certified pure tested grade essential oils that help soothe our muscles, soothe those ligaments and joints, and help target that relief that we need for those discomforts. And it is one that I reach for often. So especially after a workout, you've given it your all, you're worried about that, delayed muscle onset, this product will save you. Or maybe in the morning or after sitting at work for a long time, you get that creakiness, bring this in. You can use it a few times during the day. It's going to help you so much so that you can truly live your life and move your body. All right. So next one on the pillars, right? Rest and managing our stress. Who needs sleep, right? Who needs sleep? We've taught that that's not that important. We can sleep when we die. We only have this life to live, right? Well, let's talk about that a little bit more and how it impacts our overall health.
What I want you to know is that sleep has a major impact on our health and quality of life. Sleep helps your brain make new memories and recall old ones. Sleep helps clear out a toxic protein from your brain called beta amyloid that may otherwise build up and interfere with cognitive function when you're older. It impacts the reproductive system and the release of hormones, and on and on. Literal deterioration of mental and physiological performance starts to happen after 16 hours of being awake. Most sleep issues are stress-induced. We must manage our stress. 70% of problems sleeping are related to psychophysiological issues, 15% environmental, and 15% medical. Increased cortisol levels means melatonin levels will not be able to rise as they should to promote restful sleep.
All right, so in addition to the impacts that Dr. Riggs just talked about, we know that the lack of sleep impacts our immune system, right? Immune system is so important at getting rid of those unwanted cells in our body, unwanted bacteria. And then it also affects our cardiovascular health and the life cycle of the cells in our body. So here you hear impacts apoptosis. Apoptosis is our body's ability to get rid of unhealthy, damaged cells or cells that kind of go haywire in our body. We want to get rid of those things, right? For the healthy life cycle of our cells. So apoptosis is important. We rejuvenate our bodies while we sleep. So how much sleep do you need? The amount of sleep you need actually changes as we get older throughout our lives. So when our babies, they need about 16 hours of sleep when they're first born. Their circadian rhythm doesn't really take effect for about 3 to 6 months. As if you are a parent, you understand, right? So we like that when the rhythms start to get a little bit more on track. And about 50% of newborns sleep is actually in a REM sleep. But then as they age, they need a little bit less. School-age children typically have about 10 to 11 hours of sleep, right? And then when we get into our teen years, the brain starts to stretch and reorganize and mature. So the sleep pattern actually naturally changes. And so that's why teenagers naturally might go to sleep around midnight and get up around 10 a.m. because that their 10 hours of sleep, it kind of shifts a little bit. But in our society, we usually are supporting that. We're making them go to sleep with us. They're getting up for school really early, and it really doesn't support their sleep cycles. Adults need, but rarely get 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. So yeah, as we get older, that sleep begins to fracture more and more, and that removes our deep sleep from our cycle. So by the time we're 70, you may know your grandparents, your parents, their sleep is shifts, and they're only actually getting deep sleep for a small percentage of the night. And therefore they're noticing that they don't really sleep as well or as much in those later years. So a few tips for a good night's sleep, right, is keeping a consistent schedule. That we are creatures of habit. Human nature are creatures of habit. So going to bed at the same time, getting up at the same time is very supportive for your sleep. If you're gonna nap, have it in the earlier part of the day in only about 30 minutes. Okay. The longer naps, afternoon naps, those can perpetuate you being up later in the day and really mess with your cycle. So establishing a good soothing bedtime routine. I'm going to give you some of my favorite sleep regimens in a second. Maybe read a book, meditate, take a bath. Those are wonderful ways to kind of get you settled for sleep. And then use your bedroom only for sleep. Avoid watching TV in bed, avoid working in your bed. So that way your body actually associates your bed with sleep, right? Caffeine is another one that we see in America a lot. Caffeine has a 6-hour half-life, which means it takes nearly 24 hours to completely leave your body. And caffeine blocks the adenosine So it's basically, that's your sleep hormone that's supposed to build up during the day, but caffeine blocks it from attaching to our bodies. And so we don't get that drowsiness that we need to, that sleep that we get in the evening. Alcohol may help you get drowsy in the evening, but it doesn't help your sleep later on in the night. All right, so some things to think about. Large spicy meals before bedtime, that also can cause bringing on indigestion as well as affect your sleep. Exercise is amazing to help you sleep. Yet if you do workouts in the evening, it could actually stimulate your body. So just notice, if sleep is your area in the assessment that you need support in, try some of these things and see how your body, to see, are you exposed to a lot of bright lights? You want to do that in the morning. Your cortisol and the way your brain functions wakes up with bright light, right? So in the morning, it's great to activate your body in the morning. But as the sun goes down, start turning off those lights and those overhead lights in your home, using indirect lights so that your brain can start to realize that let's start making that melatonin, right? Let's start making that so that we can sleep better. Keep your sleeping area cooler. And then if you can't sleep, just get up, right? Go maybe do a meditation, read a book with some soft light, and then you can try going back to sleep. All right, so some of my favorite sleep regimen oils are here. So lavender on the bottoms of my feet. I'll even apply it to my pillow. And then in the diffuser, I'll either add lavender or I'll add serenity. And adding a little bit of extra vetiver is wonderful to help stop if my mind is going. So if I'm making lists and I'm thinking of the next day and I'm already anticipating that, vetiver will help calm that active mind. If that isn't working for you, try copaiba. Copaiba, either a few drops under the tongue or one of the soft gel capsules. Wonderful. You can even combine it with the Serenity soft gels. Adaptive is another one, and cedarwood. So try different combinations here and see what works for you. I definitely, these are some of my favorites. So what do you see when you see this picture, right? Is this you? Maybe every day, right? What about the word stress, right? The word stress. What happens? Your body maybe feels threatened, your nervous system responds, you feel a flood. You might even be feeling it right now. Flood of stress hormones, adrenaline, cortisol are starting to kick in, right? That is very important when we need emergency action, because our heart is going to pound, our muscles are going to tighten, our blood pressure is going to rise, our breath quickens, right? Our senses become sharper. So, but if you look at your assessment that you filled out, and if you didn't, it was in the chat, you can always download it and take a look. If you frequently find yourself frazzled and overwhelmed, then it's time to take back your nervous system and let's bring it back into balance so that you can protect yourself and improve the way you think and feel. Recognize the signs and symptoms of long-term stress so that you can start reducing its harmful effects, okay? All right, because there's lots of different ways where it shows up. We're constantly being inundated with stimuli that we have to respond to. And so we want to have a positive experience, but sometimes even those positive experiences cause us stress, right? Our family, our friends, our education, sometimes that is stressful in our lives. But why does this matter? Is all stress bad? Well, no, not all stress is bad. Stress can help us be productive, right? It helps us rise to the challenge and keeps us on our toes and sharpens our concentration. So those things are good, but there's a certain point where stress stops being helpful and starts being harmful, okay? So psychologists often use the analogy when they're finding the right balance. It's like a violin string. If it's too tight, it's going to break. But if there's no, if it's too loose, then you're not getting good sound either. So we want to find that delicate balance in our nervous system to be able to activate when we need it and keep our stress short term. Okay. So there's short-term stress and long-term stress. So that when we find that balance, now we can move from one event to the other. So, okay, we're running late, activate, you might activate those stress hormones, right? But then when that moment is done, we can calm ourselves down. And it's possible, even if you tend to be more highly stressed, it is possible to become more resilient to that short-term stress and start managing your time better, start taking care of your health, start practicing relaxation techniques so that it doesn't become long-term stress, because long-term stress will cause a variety of other health problems. It's going to decrease our quality of life, affect our immune system, and cause our bodies not to function optimally. All right, because it's that increase of oxidative stress affects our cellular metabolism. All right, good news though, that stress comes primarily not just from happens to us, but how we react to it. So even though we might not be able to change what's happening in our lives, we have a lot more choices about how we react to them, more than we actually believe. All right, so ask yourself, when you think of stress, what comes to mind, right? What happens? What do you feel in your body? You can take a minute right now and just jot some of those things down. What does stress feel like in your body? Where are you feeling it? What is your mind doing? Okay, jot those things down, because then we can look at some of the responses that you get to choose for yourself. And if you're not sure, this is something we can discuss at the end as well, is like, what might be supportive for you, right? So it's important to have at least a few activities that you can do to help calm your body down and your mind when you start to experience stress. So you can slow your breathing, you can meditate, you can walk, stretch, right? Listen to calming music, see where it is in your body, right? And then we can respond to it some other ways with like healthy eating, right? Positive attitudes, yoga, physical activity, right? All of these things can help us with how we respond. Since long-term stress is something we want to alleviate, we must stick to a healthy diet, okay? Our nutrition, our digestive process, we talked about our hormones are made in our gut. So we want to stick to that to help support our mental health. Very, very key. Gut health and mental health are intertwined very much. So additionally, I want to share a few extra tools that when we pair these tools with some of the essential oils, now we're habit stacking. We're going to get more out of our response here. So when you pair that meditation with an oil, or you pair your walk, or whatever it is that you're doing with one of these essential oils, absolutely amazing. Pick your favorite one. If you have one right now, grab it and put it in the palm of your hands. All right, very simple. Take a drop. So I just did frankincense. Okay. Take a few deep breaths. Just that simple is the way you can use it. I love the adaptive system when it comes to anxiety and stress response. It helps just calm my body down. I feel it instantly. Okay, when I'm driving with my teenager in the car, adaptive is a must. I apply it to my wrists and my hands. I breathe it in, and we all feel better. And then he's calmer as well as he's driving, right? As he's breathing it in. doTERRA Balance, lavender, rose, chamomile, whatever you want. These are some of my favorites, but there are so many that can help support you. All right. So because the last, well, not the last one, but the next section in the wellness pyramid here is toxins. And so we're exposed to countless toxins every day in everything we do from sources that we're not even necessarily aware of, right? So we want to look at, what are you putting on your skin? What are you coming into contact with while you're cleaning your home? All of these substances can negatively impact your health if they have chemicals. And while other countries may have taken action to protect their citizens from chemical linked agents like that cause cancer, reproductive harm, sadly, the FDA doesn't even require a basic safety testing on ingredients that are in your personal care products before they're used. there's no regulation on them. So personal care products, they're not the only place that we're exposed to. Our cleaners, our clothes, our cookware, our shower curtains, they all have what's called PFAs, right? Those are chemicals that are forever chemicals because they don't ever break down naturally. And so they're often added to products to make them waterproof or stain resistant, non-stick, all right? So we need to become ingredient detectives and really look at what toxins are and where they're coming into our health.
A toxin is any substance that places undue stress on the body. And stresses can build up over time, creating what we call a toxic load on our bodies. And they specifically target the endocrine system. The endocrine system is a system of glands that make hormones, which are our internal chemical messengers. Hormones carry information from one set of cells to others, influencing every cell, body system, and function in our body. The endocrine system releases hormones into the bloodstream and facilitates their movement throughout the body. It regulates how much of each hormone is released into the bloodstream and influences growth and development, function of organs, metabolism, reproduction, mood, and other physiological functions. There are 8 major glands that make up the endocrine system: the hypothalamus, pituitary, thyroid, parathyroid, adrenals, pineal body, sex glands, and the pancreas.
So there's a lot that's very important in our endocrine system and our hormones. And there are endocrine disrupting chemicals that mimic our natural hormones. All right, you may have heard of these. In our plastics, they mimic our natural hormones. And they trick our body into thinking that they are hormones. And what happens is they block on the cell receptors our natural hormones from doing their job, doing what they're supposed to do. And it influences the production of our hormones, how they're made, how they're stored, and even alters our sensitivity to our natural hormones. So these endocrine disruptors tend to target the effect of hormone effects, okay? And that make one hormone regulate the production and like degradation of others. So what we want to do is obviously eliminate some of this, right? Because hormones are intertwined, are very intertwined. So that means that one single endocrine disruptor can affect all kinds of other hormones being produced in our body naturally. And there's like this cascade effect that happens. So some of the consequences increase our risk for hormone-related cancers, risk of obesity, diabetes, metabolic issues, cardiovascular issues, all kinds of things, and poor thyroid function. These are all on the rise because of the endocrine disruptors that we have, all these chemicals that we're exposed to all the time. There's over 1,000 separate endocrine disruptors that have been identified. They usually fall into 5 different categories. Okay, so there's plant-derived disruptors, medical supplies, industrial chemicals, pharmaceuticals, and household personal care products, which are consumable products. All right, so this is where we're going to focus in right now. So I don't know if you're aware that women use on average 12 personal care products each day, and that contains over 160 different chemicals. Now, men aren't immune to this. They use on average 6 personal care products a day. That's about 85 chemicals in them. Now, 40 countries have banned 14,000 chemicals. You know how many the US has banned? 9. 9, that's it, right? So where does that leave us? We're constantly being exposed to endocrine disrupting chemicals through our normal daily routine without even realizing it. Right, so we want to look at items in our bathrooms that might have BPAs, parabens, phthalates, and triclosans. All right, parabens and phthalates are essentially are often in our personal care products. They're preservatives that are in makeup, lotions, hair products, and more. And they can be linked to infertility in males as well as breast cancer. Phthalates are binders that they use for scents in skincare products or nail polishes. Now, these have been associated with reproductive issues, fertility issues, even child growth developmental issues. So you want to become an ingredient detective and look at your ingredients, because what you're putting on your skin goes inside your bloodstream, right? It absorbs 60% of what you're putting on it. So it's very important to know what you're exposing yourself to. allergies, hormone disruptors, irritations, cancers, reproductive system. These are just some of the problems that develop when we have dangerous chemicals that we use day after day over prolonged periods of time. So what you use in your skin, in your mouth, in your hair, right? All very important. So fortunately, we do have a natural detoxification process in our bodies to help remove these harmful chemicals, right? We have our digestive system, our liver, our kidneys, right? So we want to make sure that we have proper functioning digestive system, right? And our nutrition, right? When we talked about this stacking, we already discussed this, but this healthy diet helps also detoxify. So when we're focusing on whole foods, plenty of water, right? This also helps our detoxification process. Then we can start ditching and switching the products that we have to lighten our toxic load, right? So that's where we can look at the products that we're using, go into your bathroom cabinets, look in your drawers, look at what are the ingredients. Do you know what the ingredients are in your products, right? If you don't, then let's start to eliminate them. If you don't know what they are, you can scan the barcode. I love using the EWG website. There's other ones as well, where you can look at the ingredients in your products and see what are they, how toxic are these ingredients. There's also what do they do when they're mixed together. So once you've identified some of those toxic exposures, where they're coming from, you can start lightening your toxic load. And what I love is that you can use doTERRAs, right? Because they are free from those BPAs, parabens, phthalates, and fragrances. We only use CPCG essential oils in the products. So doTERRA offers lots of things to help lighten up our load. I love the skincare line. You can, it's absolutely wonderful. My favorite is the Virage line. Okay. It's just absolutely amazing. And then I like to mix and match. So I'll take the Virage line and then I'll use maybe the anti-aging eye cream or the brightening gel or tightening serum, right? We can use different ones. And if you have problematic skin, the HD Clear is wonderful for our kids and won't cause those endocrine disrupting problems that we talked about, like the other ones on the market that are so highly advertised. They are terrible for your health. So doing this switch for your children is absolutely wonderful. All right. And then of course, the sun line. All right. So the sun line, the chemicals, we're trying to protect ourselves from damaged skin cells, right, from the sun, but then we're putting on chemicals that are damaging our cells and causing cancer. So Clean Line, this product actually works almost too good, right? I went to Florida in the sun and no tan lines. It did such a great job. And I actually had my family members switch to, they were like, I'm not tanning enough, right? This is working too good. And so they switched to their chemical laden product and they burnt to a crisp, even though the SPF was the same number. And so not only did they get burnt to a crisp causing damage, but they also had those the damaging chemicals in their product as well. So absolutely wonderful to use these products. All right. The other thing you can also use is citrus oils. Citrus oils are wonderful at breaking down chemicals that are in our body, but also surface cleaning. Really wonderful. And this is going to help support and uplift our emotional mood because they have limonene. All right. Tangerine is one of my favorites because of the high amounts of limonene. It is the one that has the most in all of the citrus oils. So it's very, very uplifting, but you can use it for cleaning to help detox surfaces, but also internal processes. So adding a drop to your water. So if you have, your water that you're drinking, just add a drop of the tangerine to it. Or I actually really enjoy adding it to my smoothies as well, to add that yummy flavor. All right. All right. Oh, the chat. Okay. Check if you don't have the link for the assessment, check your emails. I did email everybody, or you can contact me or your wellness advocate and make sure you get it. All right. All right. We are coming closer to the end. I know this has been a long, detailed webinar, so hang in there. I appreciate it. So informed self-care. This is being aware of what's going on in your environment and being able to respond properly, reduce your reduce any damage from your overall well-being, right? So let's talk about informed self-care.
So now let's get into informed self-care, which is the proactive approach to wellness. Self-care has been identified as the practice of taking action to preserve or improve one's own health. A large part of the problem we have in healthcare is that the current paradigm that problems are inevitable, so that we are more reactive than proactive. What if our paradigm was proactive? What if we started to act in a way that would promote health? Think of the changes some make after a significant health issue. What if they had made those changes long before? They could avoid the crisis and increase their health span. But to do this, we need to start now to teach people how to promote health and manage occasional issues that come up through practicing self-care. This is best done by friends and family who care and are willing to advocate for wellness. We need wellness advocates. This is why we need informed self-care. Informed self-care is the process of understanding health information and gaining knowledge so that we can wisely act to promote health and manage occasional issues that come up. There are so many ways to do this that it's easy to feel overwhelmed. So how do we take the first step in understanding health information? I like to keep things simple by gathering health information into groups or pillars. The pillars of informed self-care are metabolic concerns, immune function, inflammatory response, and mental health.
All right, so informed self-care, what do you do when something happens, right? And how do you prevent all of those things from happening, right? You got to be informed. So to help improve your metabolic function, right? Lifelong vitality, absolutely, to help supplement those micronutrients. And of course, helping with those macros, right? Our protein, our greens, our fiber, and the MetaPower system. This is going to help optimize all of our macronutrient utilization, help give us a stronger foundation and base. Now, if you are having immune issues and you want to really help support your immune response, then the On Guard line is your friend. And there's lots of different products to help with your immune system. All right. We're going to kind of go through this a little bit faster. So if you have any questions, let me know. Inflammatory response, absolutely supportive. We want to have a healthy inflammatory response. So the deep blue line is absolutely amazing to help support this, along with copaiba and the turmeric dual chamber capsules. All right. Here we go. And then in mental health category, if we want to really support our mental health, then we have the different adaptive oils, right, that I talked about earlier. But look at the emotional aromatherapy blends. Absolutely amazing. I've dealt with a lot of loss this year, a lot of different stresses, and these emotional oils have really helped support my emotional health and just my being able to bounce back from these events. All right. And then as we better, if we better understand each pillar, now we have a better framework for us to be able to make better decisions, and so that we can make a better impact on our health. All right, very important. So if you don't have the solution for your health concern yet, let us know. We can help you. Okay. The last section is proactive health and medical care. What are you doing proactively today to help support your longevity and to help support your vitality?
So what is proactive medical care? Proactive care is personalized health care that encourages patients to take more control of their own care. It's creating a team of health and wellness professionals that you can partner with to help you reach your health goals. So I want to explain a few concepts. Number one would be for you as wellness advocates. Meet the individual where they are. Sometimes as wellness advocates, we give our customers such large bites to consume that they can't possibly eat it, and so they leave the whole thing on the table. We know, for instance, that walking 10,000 steps daily is a healthy habit that reaps incredible benefits. However, when getting up from a chair is painful, 10,000 steps a day is asking someone to climb Mount Everest. Melinda Gates said this: human-centered design is about meeting people where they are and really taking their needs and feedback into account. When you let people participate in the design process, you find that they often have ingenious ideas about what would really help them. Another concept is to be curious, not furious. The culture of taking care of people has often been a parental one in which we are the parent and the individual seeking help is the child. A kind of you had better do as you're told sort of relationship. Many of us recognize how unhealthy this is, but yet it continues. So if this is the case, maybe we can take something from the psychology of parenting that will help us not get so burned out. When children do not do as we expected them, we often become angry and frustrated with them. Parenting psychology tells us that if we were to become curious about the behavior, we may help that child change their behavior when we help them explore the reasons behind what they've done. This is true in individuals trying to change their health as well. When they are non-compliant, we often blame or criticize them and sadly take this on as a failure on our part. Once we put the anger in check and become curious about the behavior, we find ourselves becoming smoother, and we realize that human transformation comes from the heart. A great quote from Brené Brown, one of my wife's favorite authors, said this: choosing to be curious is choosing to be vulnerable, because it requires us to surrender to uncertainty. It wasn't always a choice. We were born curious. But over time, we learn that curiosity, like vulnerability, can lead to hurt. As a result, we turn to self-protecting, choosing certainty over curiosity, armor over vulnerability, and knowing over learning. Be curious about your health. Ask questions. The next concept is don't give away your power. Tom Hanks said this, quote, "The power of the individual is as powerful as the universe is infinite," unquote. What can you do to harness your power as a patient? You need to know your risks and numbers. Health screenings are an important part of maintaining good health, especially as you get older. Health screenings can detect problems early when chances for successful treatment are greatest. Know your numbers, especially markers such as cholesterol, fasting blood sugar, hemoglobin A1C, BMI, which is a function of body weight, and blood pressure. And lastly, and probably most importantly, surround yourself by a team. Modern healthcare is a team sport. The best experience for you and your healthcare should feature a cadre of health professionals working together to deliver quality care. Studies have shown that interprofessional collaboration in healthcare can help to reduce preventable adverse drug reactions, decrease mortality rates, and optimize medication dosages.
All right, so let's look at that wellness pyramid one more time, okay? So we talked about each and every aspect here, and we are part of your team now. We want to be part of that team so that you can be proactive in your health. All right, so thank you for joining us today. I hope that you really got a better understanding of the wellness pyramid. Okay, and I do have some amazing promotions that you can take advantage here of these amazing products that we discussed. But one of the things that I want to talk about is that team. As the wellness advocates, doTERRA was very deliberate in choosing a direct selling model, because in that it can get overwhelming, like Dr. Riggs said, when you're like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of stuff, right? A lot of stuff to learn. And so when you have somebody on your team like us wellness advocates, that includes me, right? We can help with that learning curve when you're first getting started and when you first get introduced to the essential oils and these products. So we are people, we just want to have this conversation. We want to support you. We are going to be curious about your health and really help you on that learning curve so you can maximize, not just out of the products, but maximize your results in that health stacking. All right. So whether you start with one oil or an enrollment kit, that doesn't matter. We are here to help support you. And we have some amazing specials today at this event. So first of all, the MetaPower system, right? So you can get it 36% discounted in this kit. Normally it's $238, but you're going to get it for just $152 with this event. I have the promo code that you're going to use. All right. So if you want to look at your healthy metabolism, curb those cravings, help with your fat cells, then this is the definitely wonderful way to start. And you can also earn a free diffuser by just adding something else part of your assessment. Look at your assessment and where it is. I would add the lifelong vitality because you want to create a healthy foundation and nutrition along with that, right? Get your micronutrients in there. And so if you add something to top off to 150 points, you're going to get a free diffuser here. All right. And this is actually a Diamond Club event. So we're going to put that promo code in the chat as well. So you can get extra freebies as well. Okay, so you'll have 2 promo codes that you're going to be able to put in. So the second kit you can get a discount is the Healthy Habits kit. This is my absolute favorite. This is the one that I start most of my clients on because we are looking at the foundation. We're going to hit every pillar of health with this kit, the Healthy Habits kit. It's usually $260. You get it for $165 today. All right, so if you want to be the healthiest version, you want to have some of those tools for every block on the wellness pyramid. It is absolutely wonderful. So you have digestion here, you have things that help support your movement, you have the tangerine to help reduce your toxic load, you have oils to help with your rest and managing your stress, right? And then you can add on the MetaPower Advantage if you want, get that free diffuser, or look at your assessment and see what product would help support you in getting your health goals, and then you can get that free diffuser as well. All right, so you can also take advantage of this amazing enrollment promotion that we have going on right now, where if you order something of 100 points right now, not $100, but 100 points, that'll be a separate number underneath. Then you order 100 points next month, then you're going to get 100 points for free, $100 for free. So you can actually save up to $250 by enrolling today. All right. So if you get one of the kits, you can always put the Lifelong Vitality, replace that for next month or whatever other products that you want to get, so that you can also, it's also budget friendly when you kind of space it out between 2 months instead of 1, and you get all those amazing discounts. All right. So if you're not familiar with our loyalty rewards program, this is an extra added perk for our members, our customers, where when you buy the products, then you can get extra promos, extra discounts. So that's what you're going to do when you get your enrollment today. You set up a loyalty rewards order of 100 points for next month, and you'll get all those extra freebies. So the person that invited you today will help you with this. So don't worry if you're not understanding all this. You're not locked into anything. You're not, you don't have to order every day for, your whole life. This is something that you can, it's just an extra perk. And although it is absolutely amazing and most people absolutely love it. And of course, I just want to talk about real briefly the 3 types of people we serve in doTERRA. All right, so the first person is just really excited about natural lifestyle. You're excited to get the essential oils in your house, and you really just want to live that natural lifestyle. Absolutely wonderful. We have amazing perks for you, like we mentioned in the loyalty rewards program, but we also have an amazing program where you can refer your friends as a customer and you can earn doTERRA dollars. Okay, absolutely wonderful. The second type of person is sitting here and you're thinking of a list. Oh my gosh, my mom, my aunt, my friend, they all need these. And we can support you just by sharing the products that you love, just like you went to an amazing restaurant that you want, and you want to share it with your friends, you can share with doTERRA and you can earn extra money every month. So you can actually earn free products that way and get your own wellness products for free. Millions of people do this around the world. The third person really wants to help change people's lives. By hearing me, you're like, oh my gosh, I want to teach like her. I want to empower people, not just in getting the products, but how to live healthier. And so doTERRA does support these people with a generous compensation plan, and you can help supplement your income or even replace it depending on what you want to do. And so if you're the second or third type of person, definitely talk to me after we're done. All right. So to enroll today, this is the code that you're going to use. All right. Spring P29 ATL. Add that to your link. So you're going to get a link from the person who sent you who invited you here. If you didn't, you'll have my website in the email that I sent you, right? And you're going to put this promo code on your enrollment and you're going to get that extra discount. All right. And the other discount for the Diamond Club. All right, we're going to put here in the chat, and so you're going to put USDC. Let's see here, 232 NQS. All right, so this is the promo code, and you can earn on top of the extra discount. You can earn a free adaptive oil and diffuser, of course, if it's 150. And then you can earn, if it's over 200 points, you can earn some extras as well. So make sure that you have those 2 promo codes. So this promo code is in the chat box. And so let me go back to this last slide and type in this one. And so if you have any questions, I'm going to stay on a little longer and answer any questions. And then everybody will get that replay, because I know this was a long webinar. So if you need to watch something again, no worries. You can always rewatch it, and for a period of time I'll have it available. All right. So have a wonderful day. I'm going to stop sharing and stop recording here.